The football world expected a fast track for Raúl González from Castilla to a top dugout, but the reality hitting him now is stranger and harsher than most predicted. After leaving Real Madrid at the end of last season with dreams of stepping up, Raúl and his camp have been quietly shopping his profile around Europe, and instead of open doors, they've encountered silence. Bild reports that his agent offered him to Borussia Mönchengladbach, a club currently managing with an interim coach and sitting uncomfortably low in the table, yet that offer did not even get the courtesy of a reply. Imagine the image, a man revered for his career as a player, accustomed to applause and certainty, finding the phone go unanswered. That single detail, a Bundesliga side not returning a call, crystallizes a deeper problem. Pedigree as a player no longer guarantees automatic credibility as a manager, and clubs are increasingly cautious at a time when results matter more than ever. The story is not simply about ego bruises, it reveals a market with sharp edges. When Raúl led Castilla, there was genuine interest from clubs who saw potential and were willing to back a young coach. Now facing the senior stage, he wants a job that furthers his growth rather than a stopgap posting that could unravel his reputation. That selectivity is understandable. A wrong appointment can redefine a career, but it collides with club reality. Teams under pressure often prefer experienced hands who have handled crisis moments in senior competitions. For many decision-makers, a successful Castilla spell, however promising, is not the same as proven top-flight leadership. The Bundesliga in particular has been one of Raúl's best markets for opportunity. German clubs have shown appetite in the past for young, tactical minds, yet the silence from at least one club that was reportedly contacted signals caution, not enthusiasm. There are several ways to read this pause. One is structural. Club boards and sporting directors have shorter patience spans and higher expectations, so they may be leaning toward managers with immediate track records of stabilizing teams. Another is timing. The football calendar moves fast, and many teams already have plans or prefer short-term veteran fixes to buy time for a long-term project. Then there's perception. A legendary name carries baggage as well as cachet. Some clubs may worry that a marquee appointment brings media pressure and unrealistic expectations that could derail a fragile rebuilding process. Finally, the agent's approach and the specific fit matter. An offer is not a guarantee. Clubs weigh squad chemistry, budget, and their own survival odds before picking what feels safe. For Raúl, the consequences are urgent but not necessarily terminal. He has signaled that he will wait for the right opportunity rather than accept any role. That patience can pay off. The European club landscape always cycles through vacancies, and a high-profile opening that suits his philosophy will likely appear, but time is not neutral. Each passing month without a senior appointment chips away at the narrative momentum he enjoyed leaving Real Madrid. Fans and pundits quickly reframe. Promising coach becomes candidate, languishing on the sidelines. That shift affects negotiations, perceived bargaining power, and the range of projects willing to take a punt on him. This moment also offers a mirror to clubs. Turning down or ignoring a candidate with Raúl's profile could be defensible if the fit isn't right, but it may also signal a tendency among clubs to prioritize short-term stability over potential long-term vision. If too many teams avoid bold appointments, the coaching market becomes conservative, and that has consequences for football's tactical evolution. Young coaches with fresh ideas may struggle to find platforms, and the churn of experienced stopgaps could become the norm. Where does this leave Raúl? He continues to search, convinced that vacancies across Europe will open and that one project will trust him to lead. The other side to that belief is the need for strategic choices. Accepting an assistant or a supporting role at a top club might rebuild momentum, or taking a smaller but clearly defined project could let him prove himself on senior stages. Whatever path he picks, the immediate chapter, the silence, the rejected outreach, the phone not being returned by a Bundesliga club, is a reminder that reputation alone does not propel careers in modern football. The next move will tell whether Raúl's coaching story pivots into reinvention or whether this unexpected cold stretch becomes the toughest lesson of his early managerial life. Fans, pundits and clubs will be watching, And when the right vacancy finally opens, everyone will discover if that silence was a temporary pause or the beginning of a very different trajectory for one of Real Madrid's most famous sons.